It was supposed to be a quiet weekend at Windsor. A few hours of calm before the next royal event. But when Kate stumbled upon a message, hidden deep inside Prince William's study drawer, everything changed. Eyewitnesses say her face turned pale. Her eyes didn't blink. And then she stormed out. No goodbye, no explanations. Just the future Queen of England walking past stunned royal aides, her heels echoing through the marble halls. What did she find? A secret so carefully buried, not even her closest confidants saw it coming. Some say it was from William's past. Others believe it's something still happening now. A betrayal? A truth withheld? Or a name she never thought she'd hear again? Royal insiders are whispering. Palace staff are on edge. And Buckingham is doing damage control. Because when Catherine, Princess of Wales, walks away from her crown prince in silence, you know the truth is bigger than anyone imagined. And it's about to explode. The Dinner Party Confession. At a quiet dinner party at St. Andrew's, where laughter and candles lit the evening, something unexpected unfolded. Prince William and Kate Middleton were among friends, gathered casually over food and games. Everything seemed light and easy, until someone suggested a game of Never Have I Ever. It was all in good fun, until Massy-Birch, William's ex-girlfriend, took her turn. Carly, with a glance at William and a smirk that seemed too practiced, said, "Never have I ever dated two people in this room." The room froze. Silence fell. Everyone knew who she meant. She had dated William, and now Kate was sitting beside him. The meaning hit like thunder in a still sky. William's expression shifted, his smile vanished, and his eyes fixed on Carly. Sources recall him staring, almost stunned, and whispering under his breath, "I can't believe I just said that." That sentence wasn't just personal. It was royal history in the making. In one moment, the secret everyone whispered about had exploded into the open. This was more than drama. This was the future king's private life exposed by his past. The dinner party would be remembered not for its food or games, but for the moment the truth could no longer hide. The secret relationship revealed. Before that night, William and Kate were careful. They kept their relationship hidden from the press and even from many of their classmates. They walked to lectures together and were often spotted shopping in town, but nothing ever confirmed what people suspected. It was subtle, intimate, without being obvious. That all changed when Carly spoke up. According to royal biographer Robert Jobson, that moment was accidental but explosive. What had been a private story between two students was now on the lips of every person in the room, and soon, far beyond. Carly's comment forced William and Kate's hand. They could no longer pretend. From that moment, their quiet bond became public curiosity. People started watching closer. Classmates who thought they might have seen something suddenly felt they had proof. William reportedly turned to Kate and whispered, "I guess we can't hide anymore." For a royal used to press scrutiny, this wasn't just about romance, it was about control. And for Kate, it meant stepping into the spotlight before she was ready. Who is Massy-Birch? Massy-Birch wasn't just any ex-girlfriend. She came from a prominent background and was known around St. Andrews for being confident and clever. Her relationship with William had been brief, but clearly memorable. Invited as a friend to the dinner party, no one expected her to throw a verbal grenade. Her comment wasn't vague. It was surgical, meant to sting, meant to stick. Some say she was jealous. Others think it was pure drama. A few even claim it was honest, her way of dealing with an uncomfortable truth. But no matter the motive, her sentence changed the trajectory of royal romance. After that dinner, Carly disappeared from headlines. She returned to private life, but her impact echoed. Royal historians still mention her as the spark that lit the fire of public curiosity. One guest later recalled, "She knew exactly what she was doing, and she did it anyway." Whether it was calculated or careless, Carly became an unexpected footnote in the royal love story. Brief, but unforgettable. From friendship to love. William and Kate's royal romance didn't start with fireworks. It began with a friendship built on quiet trust. They first met in 2001 as students at the University of St. Andrews. While William was studying geography, Kate had switched her major to art history. At first, they were simply friends, sharing classes and meals, bumping into each other in the campus library. One friend said, "They were just two students in baggy jeans grabbing coffee together." There was no grand entrance, no love at first sight drama. It was something that bloomed in the background. As time passed, the two grew closer, not through royal events or staged outings, but through shared struggles and day-to-day university life. They eventually moved in together with a group of friends in an off-campus house. That's where things quietly shifted. Kate reportedly helped William through stressful moments, especially when he considered dropping out of university. Her calming presence made a difference. One classmate shared, "Kate was always the steady one. You could see she grounded him." Their bond evolved naturally. It wasn't just about love, it was about comfort. William wasn't just dating someone, he was falling for a person who truly understood him. In later interviews, he would say, "It just sort of blossomed from there, really." Their romance was subtle but strong. While others partied hard or dated openly, William and Kate were building something more personal behind closed doors. Friends who saw them together said the chemistry was obvious, but they didn't show off. It was intimate and real. The dinner party may have revealed their secret, but the relationship had already taken root long before that night. Carly's comment didn't create the romance. It only confirmed what had been quietly growing. And while William may have been caught off guard, Kate handled the sudden attention with remarkable poise. Their story had begun, and it was now out in the open. Kate's calculated decisions? For years, royal watchers have wondered, was Kate's university choice really just about education, or was it part of something more strategic? According to royal biographer Robert Lacey, Kate originally received admission to the University of Edinburgh, but changed course when she learned Prince William had chosen St. Andrews. Even more curious? She changed her major to art history, the exact same subject as William's. Critics call it calculated, others call it clever. Did Kate shape her future by aligning herself with a prince? Some say yes. Kate was smart, said a former classmate. She wasn't pushy, but she made sure she was there, around, available, and natural. Supporters argue it wasn't scheming, it was simply being intentional. And there's no denying that her plan, if it was one, worked. Kate never flaunted herself. She dressed modestly, carried herself with quiet confidence, and stayed away from dramatic circles. That kind of restraint stood out. She was never the loudest in the room, but she was always noticed. William once joked, "She's got the patience of a saint." Behind that patience might have been strategy, yes, but also sincerity. Whether it was fate or forethought, Kate's decisions placed her in William's path again and again. She knew his schedule, shared his interests, and found ways to support him without smothering him. Even those skeptical of her intentions admit, whatever she did it gracefully. And as history now shows, those early steps helped cement the foundation of a future queen. The fashion show moment. It was one of the most iconic turning points in their story, and it had nothing to do with a royal banquet or a palace event. In 2002, Kate Middleton walked the runway at a student fashion show wearing a sheer black dress. The outfit was bold, a bit risque, and utterly unforgettable. But more importantly, William was in the front row, and he paid $200 for that seat. That night, something shifted. As one onlooker described, you could see it in William's eyes. He was captivated. Up until then, their relationship had been about quiet bonding and shared laughs. But that moment, seeing Kate in a completely different light, reportedly changed the way William saw her. Royal insiders later said it was the night he fell for her, for real. William wasn't alone in noticing. The photos from the event, blurry, student-taken snapshots, would later go viral. That dress became legendary. Designers tried to replicate it, and biographers circled the event as the spark moment. Even the fashion show organizer said, "It was the beginning of a love story, and we didn't even realize it." For Kate, it wasn't about trying to seduce a prince. It was about confidence. But that confidence made an impression. It told William she was more than the quiet girl from his dorm. She had presence, style, and power. And William, the future king, couldn't look away. As their connection deepened, the lines between private affection and public curiosity started to blur. Every interaction, every photo, every whisper now meant something more. But the fairy tale was only beginning, and before it could move forward, there were old flames, gossip, and uncertainty to face. In the next chapter, we'll look at how Kate and William's romance survived not only the press, but also the ghosts of their past, starting with the very woman who triggered it all, Carly Massy-Birch. The early days of romance. After their secret was out, William and Kate had no choice but to navigate their relationship under a small but growing spotlight. Still in university, they focused on being normal students, cooking meals, going on walks, and grocery shopping like any young couple. They were often seen together laughing, looking relaxed, and enjoying their quiet life before the public frenzy would begin. Friends noticed how natural they were around each other, comfortable, kind, and supportive. Despite the increasing attention, they stayed grounded. William continued his studies while Kate balanced coursework and their private time. They even took breaks from the public eye, spending holidays with each other's families in quiet settings. Those moments cemented a real, enduring bond. Royal biographer Katie Nicholl said, "They seemed more like a normal couple than a future king and queen." This down-to-earth connection became one of their strongest pillars. Still, the press was starting to take notice. Photographers would linger outside their flat, trying to snap the first definitive couple photo. While their love was blossoming naturally, the looming pressure of royal duty and media attention began creeping in. But at that time, they still had control over their pace, their image, and their private world. The early days showed the foundation of a relationship that was both romantic and realistic. They understood the unique path ahead, but they also savored the simplicity of those student years. It was a chapter that few royal couples had ever enjoyed, and one that strengthened their connection for what was to come. While their young love grew stronger behind closed doors, the world outside was ready to judge. And as Kate's presence in William's life became more obvious, so did the scrutiny. What came next was a test of patience, privacy, and poise. As soon as whispers of her relationship with William reached the tabloids, Kate Middleton's life changed. She was no longer just a university student. She was the girlfriend of a future king. The media started to track her every move, where she shopped, what she wore, and who her family was. This was her first introduction to the royal bubble, and it wasn't kind. Nicknamed Waity Katie by the press, Kate endured headlines that painted her as a woman simply waiting around for a proposal. But she never responded. She kept a composed face, never lashing out or giving them the story they craved. That dignity became her shield. Biographers noted her resilience, saying, "She showed maturity well beyond her years." Even the royal family watched closely. While some insiders reportedly liked Kate's quiet grace and background, others questioned her ambition. She didn't come from aristocracy, and critics feared she lacked the pedigree. But Kate kept showing up, not loud, not flashy, just present. She played the long game with calm and consistency. This period shaped Kate in the public eye. From a quiet student to a poised royal partner in training, she faced the kind of pressure that could have broken anyone. Instead, she adapted, evolved, and proved her place, not through words, but actions. Through all this, William stood by her. But their path wasn't always smooth. In fact, what followed next would test their relationship like never before, and leave Kate more vulnerable than ever. William's hot and cold phase. By 2007, things got rocky. William, under pressure from royal expectations and the weight of future duties, began to waver. Reports swirled of him struggling with commitment and needing space. The two broke up, shocking fans and even friends. For Kate, it was a painful but pivotal moment. She didn't spiral. Instead, she handled the split with quiet strength. Kate was seen going out with friends, keeping her routine, and showing no signs of public despair. The media, for once, applauded her. She was heartbroken but composed, one outlet wrote. Royal insiders later revealed that the Queen admired her grace during that time. Meanwhile, William reportedly missed her more than he expected. He realized what he had: someone who understood the unique pressures of his life and loved him through it all. After a few months apart, the two reunited. William later told friends, "We needed the break, but I never stopped loving her." That phase taught them both something vital. They were stronger together. And while it looked like a breakup from the outside, it was actually a reset. From then on, they were more aligned, more solid, and more prepared for the life ahead. Their reunion wasn't just romantic, it was strategic. It marked the beginning of their real future together. And what followed next was the moment that turned their love story into royal history. The proposal that changed history. In 2010, after nearly a decade of dating, Prince William proposed to Kate Middleton during a vacation in Kenya. It wasn't just any proposal. It was a deeply emotional, thoughtfully planned moment that marked the end of their long, private love story and the beginning of a public royal legacy. William offered Kate his late mother, Princess Diana's sapphire engagement ring, saying, "This is my way of keeping her close to it all." The ring, iconic and symbolic, connected Kate to Diana's memory in a way no words ever could. The location, a rustic lodge in the African wilderness, gave them complete privacy, an escape from the relentless royal spotlight. Friends close to William later revealed that he carried the ring in his backpack for days, waiting for the perfect moment. It wasn't just about tradition, it was about love, timing, and the feeling that the moment was truly right. When William finally asked the question, Kate was reportedly stunned into silence before softly saying yes. The engagement was announced shortly after their return to the UK, and the public reaction was overwhelmingly joyful. The long wait, the ups and downs, the scrutiny, it all now seemed to make sense. Kate, now officially Princess-in-Waiting, had proven her resilience and loyalty. In one moment, a royal girlfriend became a future queen. And for William, it was the beginning of building his own royal family, one shaped by love, not just duty. With the proposal, their story moved from speculation to certainty. It was no longer about parties or past drama. It was about legacy and moving forward together. William's mother, Diana, was never far from his heart. And now Kate carried a piece of that legacy on her finger. The real start of royal duty. Once Kate and William were engaged, everything changed. No longer just a university romance, Kate's role became official. She stepped into royal life with caution and grace, joining William at formal events, charity appearances, and high-profile gatherings. Every move was watched, every outfit analyzed. But Kate handled it all with quiet confidence. Behind the scenes, royal aides helped prepare her for the life ahead. She trained in protocol, speech delivery, and public conduct. William supported her every step of the way. One insider said, "She didn't just marry William, she married the institution." And Kate took that responsibility seriously. Her poise impressed Queen Elizabeth, who reportedly remarked that Kate was a steady presence the firm could rely on. While the public celebrated the engagement, not everyone inside the palace was immediately warm. Some viewed Kate as too middle-class or too private, but she remained undeterred. Her patience and determination won over even the most skeptical courtiers. Her first official public appearance, opening a school with William, was seen as a quiet triumph. Slowly, she began shaping her royal role around causes close to her heart: early childhood, mental health, and addiction recovery. It wasn't about flashing cameras or bold headlines. It was about consistency and building trust with the public. As William once said, Kate doesn't just show up, she stays the course. And that became the foundation of her reign. A love that endured the spotlight. Royal life isn't easy. It comes with pressure, headlines, and expectations. But through it all, William and Kate remained united. Their marriage, built on years of friendship, endured everything, from paparazzi frenzy to royal drama. Through it all, they presented a strong, united front. And more importantly, they supported each other privately. Over the years, they welcomed 3 children: George, Charlotte, and Louis. Their family moments, walking to church, waving from balconies, attending school events, helped humanize the monarchy. The public saw not just royals, but parents. Kate and William weren't perfect, but they were real. And that relatability became their biggest strength. There were rough patches, rumors, relentless comparisons to Harry and Meghan, and intense tabloid scrutiny. But the couple stayed grounded. Kate's approach remained the same: never complain, never explain. That quiet strength became her signature, and it helped solidify her place not just as William's wife, but as a future queen in her own right. By 2024, as they marked 13 years of marriage, William and Kate had proven they weren't just surviving royal life, they were thriving. Their love story, once whispered about at university dinners, had become a cornerstone of the modern monarchy. What one comment sparked. It all began with a game at a dinner table, One comment from Carly Massy-Birch exposed the secret that changed royal history. What seemed like a small drama, a cheeky remark in a game of Never Have I Ever, forced a royal relationship into the spotlight. That one moment set the course for everything that followed. Without Carly's comment, would the public have ever found out about William and Kate's romance that night? Would their story have unfolded the same way? Maybe, maybe not. But that moment created a shift. The fairy tale didn't begin in a palace. It began in a student flat, among friends, with tension in the air and truth on the table. Kate's reaction, poised. William's, stunned. But it showed the world who they really were. Two young people, navigating love under a microscope. That dinner party may have been awkward, but it brought clarity. It pushed them forward. Today, their love story is told in headlines, documentaries, and children's books. But at its core, it started with a single sentence that pulled back the curtain. One girl's words, one room full of friends, and a future king who had just revealed his heart. And that's how royal history changed over dinner. What happens next may redefine the future of the monarchy. For years, William and Kate have stood as the symbol of stability, tradition, and quiet devotion. An unshakable royal bond built in the spotlight. But this moment, it shattered the illusion. Because even fairy tale marriages carry hidden pages. Kate's storming out wasn't just dramatic. It was deliberate. A message, perhaps, to the firm. That she will not be a silent partner in a kingdom of secrets. That her loyalty is earned, not assumed. She's always been composed, but this shook her. One royal aide reportedly confessed. So what was William hiding? Was it a forgotten piece of his past? A private communication he never shared? Or something darker still? A decision that could affect Kate's children, her title, or her trust? What's certain is this: the palace is in panic mode. Spokespersons are quiet. Cameras are watching. And the people? They want answers. Because if even Kate, poised, graceful, and loyal to a fault, can be blindsided, what does that say about what's truly going on behind the palace walls? Stay tuned